Have you ever got the feeling that when you train, you do one step forward, two steps backward? Well, in this video, I'm going to explain why and what you can do about it in order to maximize your training output. But first of all, I'm Mr. D, but you, my friend, you can call me Thomas. I make videos about my journey trying to master the game of golf, and as I go, I share my experience, my thoughts, so you can improve as well. So thank you for watching, and let's get to the topic of today, which is training, efficiency. How can you maximize your output in terms of training? When you spend X hour, you want to get better. You don't want to spend hours training and then finally to end up being worse than where you were before. And so why this happened? And this is the question that I think a lot of people are asking, and there is a very simple answer to that. But if at some point you like the video, don't hesitate to smash the like button. So this is primarily because of the feedback loop. The feedback loop that is created when you train. You have some assumption in order to what you should do in order to get the ball, either subconsciously or consciously. And those assumptions, when you train, are challenged. And either they are good, and therefore you are continuing, and that's the ideal path because you're consolidating and progressing toward the ideal, toward the mental, toward the hypothesis you have, and that actually are getting good. But there is the other part, when you actually your hypotheses are wrong. And what happened at this point is your brain, as I said, subconsciously or consciously, is reevaluating how you think, how you model the golf swing in your head. And that's actually the key component. The way you think about your golf swing is the way you're going to swing the golf club. And so if you go and train and the ball flight you see and so on are challenging the way you think about your swing, then you are changing the way you think about it, as simply as that. And the main issue is, by doing that, you are losing the progress you have done so far, because every time you change what's in your head, then you are starting not necessarily from scratch, but almost, and then your body need to retrain, re-optimize everything in order to get to this new ideal you have. And so this is why you are making one step forward, two step backward, is because you have this idea and then this idea is challenging. So so what can you do about it? First of all, if you have any thoughts about it, put it in the comment section. I'm gladly going to read about it and answer and discuss with you if you are interested. But so, what can you do about it? That's a very interesting part, because you have the first way of doing, which most people are doing, as you have my way of doing, which actually the first one, I think the good player are doing it, and the other one I'm doing it. I think a lot of people are doing it, but this is the toughest one. There is the easy one and the toughest one, but the toughest one going to actually can produce higher return, but very few people get there, because this is an exponential way, and at some point you are going to give up, or at least you are just, this is very difficult to get through. So the first one is just stop thinking. Just you stop conflicting your subconscious mind and your conscious mind. The issue is here. If your subconscious mind is trying to optimize in order to do the ball flight, to get the results you want, and you consciously interfering, because when you miss a shot, when you try to do something and it doesn't work and so on, and you're constantly trying to change things, you are getting in the way of your subconscious mind that is already trying to optimize things. And so the way that a good player are doing it is just hitting balls. They have coaches that maybe say, okay, you need to do that way, and you need to do that the other way, and so on. But primarily, they are not trying to change things too much. They are just repeating, and the way they think about the golf swing is actually building up through time, progressively, and is consolidating, and that's why you see on the tour very good players that have actually a very different swing. They didn't try to actually make a swing the way they think it should be. They just keep on trying to get the ball fly to where they want, and they have subconsciously, by randomness, got the swing they got, and it worked because they just went out in the way of their subconscious mind, and it just let it do its thing. So that's the first way. And this is the second way. It's going to be, well, you need to be clear in your mind consciously about what you are doing. And so you need to understand what you are doing. You need to make sure the whole way of how you think about it everything work together in good pieces. And that's a lot of work that need, and this is the path I'm on, because I think ultimately also this is just the way I do things. I need to understand things, and I know once I understand things, then it's easy, because here it's extremely stable. I know what I need to do. Then because it's clear here, there is no ambiguity, there is no uncertainty. Then my subconscious mind know exactly what it needs to do in order to get the result. But I also, what I do is I don't put constraint on my subconscious. If I miss a ball, I don't estimate that because I didn't train enough. I estimate, no, there is something that I'm missing. I'm not in the truth yet. And so this is what actually I'm doing simply. And at some point, because I'm clear about what I'm doing, I'm going to make good contact. So I just realized that I didn't tell you the most important part in order for you to take a decision to which route you are going to take. Because the worst thing you can do is actually fluctuate from one and another. So this is the pro and the cons, simply. So the first technique, the first way of going about it, the subconscious way. You want your conscious mind to be out of the way and just taking in information. You want to focus on your intention, what you want to do, what you want to achieve, and let your subconscious mind figuring out what you need to do in order to get there. So the pro of that, this is a simpler way to go about it, period. Especially because it's going to fit you the best, it's going to, the ball is the best teacher you can have, and so you are going to build your swing, your own way to go about things. The cons of that is going to be when things go south, when you start playing bad, you will have no clue why. Absolutely no clue. So you will have a period of high performance, period of low performance, and this is going to be cycle like that, where and you need to be okay with that, because the bad period are going to come, and if you are not okay with that, you are going to start consciously modifying what your subconscious mind is trying to solve. Because if there is issue, it means that your subconscious mind is already trying to solve that. It may be because your body is tired, you have injured, and so on. So there is issue why you are not playing well. And the worst thing you can do is actually getting in the way of your subconscious mind trying to figure a situation. You need to try to find out what outside of golf may have caused the trouble. But in terms of golf related, you don't have to do anything. Just have to let it go. That's the tough part. And so on the opposite side, you have the conscious way. So you have a clear model that is in your mind, and so this makes it very easy for your subconscious mind to optimize for that. The pro of that is that, as I said, it's very easy for your subconscious mind to optimize for it. And so once you have the technique, once the model is clear in your head and you know exactly what you need to do, it's not that you don't need to train anymore, but almost. And the best way I think about it is my putting. I almost not train on putting. I'm not proud of it, but because I'm using the conscious way, I know exactly what I need to do in terms of stroke at a conscious level. Then I make it very easy for my subconscious mind to actually get it done. Well, and so I don't need to practice that much. Just repeating the same thing, having the model that is in my mind that is crystal clear, and just do it. Just do it. And that requires very little effort. And so then I have my subconscious mind that is actually free to think about other things, the green analysis, the green reading, and so on. And this can be applied for anything. Once you have a crystal clear way of thinking about your golf swing, you know exactly each part, how they work together and how it creates the actual motion, and you know this is exactly how it works, then for your subconscious mind, that's just easy. You just get it done. No work related toward your subconscious mind. So, but there is a big issue with that. You need to have an extremely deep understanding of your golf system, of the golf in general, and if your model in your mind is wrong, you will play bad. No question about it. Because you are not allowing your subconscious mind to actually optimize for it. You say, okay, this is what you need to do, and you just do it. Objectively, what's good is you have a clear objective feedback on if you are doing right, if your mental framework is right, you're hitting good shot. If it's wrong, you're hitting bad shot. But the issue is you can spend a very, very, very long time hitting bad shot before hitting good. But once it happens, it's a snap of a finger, you're hitting good shot. The minute before you are hitting like 18 handicaps golfer or players that are hitting 100 shots per round to scratch player. This is probably not as extreme because your mental framework is actually going to, you are going to, at the beginning, change a lot of things, and then as you go on, a lot more things are going to be stable, and you are going to tweak fewer and fewer parameters, and so the changes you are making are getting smaller and smaller, and so on. So, but yeah, that's the tough part. That's really, really tough, and this is the difference between the first part, which is unconscious way, which is going to be what I call the linear way, and the other, which is conscious, which is primarily what I call the exponential way, which I choose to go on, which is going to take an awful lot of time. So yeah, so I hope it helped. I hope it's interesting, and if you want to watch more of this video, don't hesitate to subscribe, and see you next time.